Hello everyone and welcome back once again to my channel. Today I have another rather special video for you guys that I think you are going to enjoy. We are going to try to fly the so-called Paul Ricard air race. Now that probably won't really ring a bell with you guys, so let me just quickly explain what it is. So basically it is a fictional air race circuit located in France at the Paul Ricard Islands and just southeast of Marseille. I recently stumbled upon the circuit when I was browsing flightsim.to, and I thought it looked very fun to try and fly, so that's why I'm making a video on it now. If you want to fly the circuit yourself, which I highly recommend you do, you can download it on the flightsim.to website completely for free. I'll put a link in the description below as well. The aircraft that we are using in this video is the Extra 330. This is an acrobatic aircraft, so ideal for these types of maneuvers, and the livery that I've chosen for this beautiful aircraft is the Armée de l'air livery, which is basically the livery of some sort of stunt group of the French Air Force, I think. And I've chosen this livery since we're of course in France, so that's why. So once we spawn in, the aircraft will by default be somewhere north of the circuit. So what we will do is we'll first head toward this little island right here. You can hardly see it, but it's definitely there. So this is what we are going to fly towards. And once we pass that, we are going to do a quick little loop-de-loop to then join the circuit itself. And there are a couple of very tricky parts which I haven't quite mastered yet, so it will be interesting to see how this turns out. And to make this video even more interesting, I'm going to subtract a point each time I hit one of the inflatable pylons that mark the circuit, or when I, for whatever reason, can stay within the circuit. When you fly through one of the pylons, the aircraft won't crash, but in real life I do think that would probably lead to a crash. But yeah, because of this point system that I'm gonna use, it's not only about just flying the race, but also doing it in style, of course. So I think it will be pretty fun to see how I perform this. Now, very quickly before we start, be sure to do a touch and go on that big red subscribe button below, and also the bell icon directly beside it, so you never miss out on a new content. And don't forget to like the video as well if you enjoy it. It would help out my channel a lot and allow me to entertain a larger part of the lovely aviation community. So without further ado, let's get started. So guys, as you can see, here we are inside the cockpit of the Extra 330, which I think is a very beautiful one, with all of the very modern screens. So yeah, up there, right in front of us, you can see the island that we are going to head towards, and once we pass that, like I said, we are going to do a loop-de-loop in an upwards direction, and then we are going to join the circuit and try to fly it as best as we can. So I'm gonna add quite a lot of thrusts. The thrust lever is all the way forward right now, and I'm going to very quickly trim the aircraft out as well, so that it's not too difficult to fly the circuit. There we go, the aircraft is almost perfectly trimmed out. There we go, we have passed the island, so in a few seconds I will do the loop-de-loop, right about now. There we go. And right in front of us you see the entrance of the circuit, so here we go. Let's see how this goes. At first it's not too difficult, just a couple of steep turns here and there, but nothing too fancy. There's the first real steep turn. And I think I hit that pylon right there, but I'm not sure. Now this right here is going to be probably the most tricky part of the whole circuit, and I haven't ever managed to do it correctly, so I'm going to slow down a little bit because and we didn't make it. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, this is really the most tricky part of the whole circuit. And that's because of these two steep turns that are very close, three steep turns actually, that are very close to each other. So you have the first one there, then the left turn, and then also that right turn there. So yeah, we're gonna try that again real quickly. So yeah, what I was saying before we went into that tricky part there is that I've noticed that if I enter that part of the circuit at full speed, the aircraft just can't stay within the circuit. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to slow down the aircraft a little bit, so to make it a little bit more manageable. But as you can see, that failed quite rapidly. So let's try that again. And we still didn't quite make it, but at least we didn't crash into the ocean again. So yeah, I couldn't stay within the circuit there, but that's not such a big problem. We're back in it right now. And we're just gonna move on with the flight. Up next is a very long straightforward bit, quite literally, because you just have to fly in a straight line until you reach the finish line. And right before the finish line we are going to have two other steep turns, so we'll see if those go a little bit better. Yeah, as you can see, these parts aren't quite too difficult. There you can see another cruise ship right there, that's where the finish line is. And there you can see the last sharp turn that we have to do in order to get to the finish. And again, we didn't manage to stay within the circuit. But there we go, we kinda made it. So let's try that again, but now in the other direction. Again, I'm going to do a quick loop-de-loop, turn the aircraft around, and there we go. We're going back into the circuit now. Because I think we could really improve our performance, especially this turn right here. Okay, so here we are again at the sharp turn. Let's hope we do a little bit better this time around. Okay, here we go. Okay, so it didn't exactly go the way I hoped it would do, and there we go. Damn, this part is difficult. Oh, and we even crashed into one of the inflatable little islands here. So yeah, I don't think this part is ever going to work for me. Maybe if I do it hundreds of times, but yeah, for the sake of time, I'm not going to show you this pattern hundreds of times. So yeah. So guys, to finish off this video, I would like to show you how the circuit looks when you are in a third-person view. And I think that's also quite more challenging than doing it in first person. So I thought it was a good idea to try to spice it up a little by doing this. So yeah, we're going to do exactly the same thing as before. We are going to fly to that little island, do a loop-de-loop, and then join the circuit and hope for the best. I've tried this a couple of times before, and I can really tell you that this is quite difficult and almost impossible during the turns. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, here we go. Here goes nothing. We overshot that barrel roll a little bit, but that's fine. Here we go. Even the smallest turns can be really tricky when you do it like this. But at least now we can see when we hit one of the pylons. Okay, so this is a very sharp turn right here. Don't want to overturn it. We barely managed to stay in the pattern right there, but we're fine. I can tell you right now that a very difficult part over there is not going to work in this view. It just can't. And of course we crash. So here we are in the ocean. So there we go, guys. I think as you can see, it is quite difficult to flawlessly perform this circuit, but it is a very fun thing to do. So if you want to do it yourself, like I said, a link to this beautiful scenery will be in the description below. I've only just noticed that this island is actually a sort of little airstrip, so to finish off this video, I'm going to try and land on it and see how this goes, but I have quite a bad feeling about it since it's quite short. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, let me know down in the comments if you've managed to do this circuit completely without any faults. I would love to know if you guys are better at this than I am. But yeah, it's quite difficult for me. In a second I'll also show you guys, for those of you who want to try this circuit yourself, I will show you the settings that I use for my yoke, the sensitivity settings for this aircraft. And it is a bit counterintuitive, which I will show you in a few seconds, but you'll understand what I mean by that. So yeah, I'm gonna try and focus on landing for a second. I think we're a bit too fast, to be honest, so yeah. Just going to do a quick 360 turn here to lose some speed. Since tailwheel aircraft do have a tendency to bounce on landing quite a lot. And I think that has to do with the position of the wheels. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, we're not going to make that at all. So power is at idle now, speed is still coming down. Come on, come on, come on. Ooh, there we go. We just barely made that landing. Phew! If I hadn't turned the aircraft to the right there, we would have probably gone off the edge, but there we go, guys. I still managed to land the extra 330 on a runway of this size, so that's quite an achievement. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Oh wait, before I forget, I still want to show my control settings. So as you can see, I've made an extra flight profile, which I've named the Extra 330. And if you go to sensitivity right here, you will see the curves that I use. And at first, when I first started to fly this aircraft, I tried to decrease, or should I say increase the sensitivity to somewhere around here. But I found out that if you do that, you know, when you use a yoke, there's a certain point when you turn it to the right. At a certain point, it will rise exponentially, this curve, which means you will go from just a normal turn rate and suddenly to a very high turn rate, which can lead to a crash when you try to do maneuvers like this, because there is quite a fine line between overturning and underturning, if you know what I mean, if that makes a little bit more sense. So what I did, instead of making the curve more hollow, I made it a little bit more flatter, which means you need to have less yoke movement to do the same kind of turns, but it will be the chance that you go into an overturn by turning the yoke too much to one side or the other. This chance will be reduced when you increase the sensitivity. So it's a little bit counterintuitive and a little bit difficult to explain for me, but I hope that makes a little bit more sense. And you can just, if you want, you can copy these curves and these sensitivity settings. For me personally, they do work quite well. Maybe I will tweak them in another video, but for now this will do just fine for me. And yeah, like I said earlier, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like, of course, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, as it will help me out a lot. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss any uploads. If you have any questions or requests for new videos, they are always welcome down in the comment section below. Or you can even reach out to me on Instagram, where I also post lots of flight sim content, so definitely give me a follow there as well. I'm trying to reach 1000 followers and we're getting there slowly but surely. So yeah guys, for now I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.